Hello, the name of this anime is called Undead Unluck. It starts off with a plane turbine engine starting, then shifts to a girl walking in the snow. We see the snow-covered city abandoned and destroyed. The girl let go of her hand, she shares a kiss and keeps walking in the snow, while the boy lies on the ground. Then it shifts to a little girl at the airport staring at a plane as it starts to snow. It shifts back to the girl walking in the snow, but the boy grabs her hand. He says don't go. The boy and the girl lies on the ground, the snow falls, and they share a kiss. It shifts back to the little girl as she watched the plane explode. Then come to find out, it was just a story being read. We shift to Destroy City in Shinjuku. August 1st, 2020. A girl closed her book and was surprised of how her favorite manga finished and was upset she couldn't live a similar life. With tears in her eyes, and since she finished her favorite manga, she decided to end herself, as we see her standing on a bridge as the train passed below her. A cool guy told her that was dangerous. She pulls out a knife and starts to talk about how she must die. But it sucks that she couldn't have a romance like the one in her favorite manga because of her body. She points a knife and screams, "Don't mess with me," as the guy drinks his juice unaffected by her words. She stated to him if he touched her, that he can die from an incurable disease. She closed her eyes and spoke about how she can't live a good life because of her body. The guy took that opportunity to walk straight into the knife. She turns and realized what happened as the guy starts to spit out blood. She freaks out. He jumps on the other side of the railing. As the wound healed, he grabbed her by her cheek, lifted her into the air and placed her on the other side of the rail, where it was safe. The man asked the girl, "What's going to happen? Am I going to get sick?" Then she said, "It's coming, my unluck." After she said those words, the ground under the man's feet chipped away, which led to him falling right into an incoming train, which made his body explode, and his hat flew into the air. The woman starts to cry as she says, "Sorry." But then the head of the man rose right in front of her. He screams, "I gets it." As his body heals in front of her, he understands why she lied. It was to protect others. She freaked out. While the talking head regains his body, the man feels like today is his luck day. But he's standing right in front of the girl, completely naked. The girl freaks out and punches him in his privates as he was standing 2-3 feet away from her. The punch, she runs away, screaming zombie. Then he used his blood to burst straight towards the unlucky lady. He said don't lump him with zombies. He called himself undead, not zombies. As officers get on the scene, he tells the girl he got a question and flies away. Right before the cops got to him, we watch him leap from building to building using his blood. She tries to sneak away as he explained his ability. He grabbed her by her foot. She screams, "Let go," not realizing he moved and was dangling her off the building. But she wasn't afraid, since she was prepared to die. But all he wanted to know was how her ability worked, so he could help. She refused and he starts to spin her by her ankles, making her get so terrified. She starts to beg him to stop, so she agreed to talk. She lays down exhausted from fear as the man asked her to spill it. She says it started 10 years ago. She was 8 and her parents was going on a trip, and they'll be back in a week. We shift back to the little girl we saw in the airport. She was a little girl saying goodbye to her parents. That night, she gave both of them a kiss, and an hour and a half later, the plane experience an engine problem blew up, not only killing her parents, but 270 passengers in total that night. But the way she learned it was her fault was when other people started to get her on her. Since then, she'd been covering her bare skin, but as she spoke, the man swiftly copped a feel from behind, putting his hands under her shirt and squeezing her melons. She fought and screamed from embarrassment, as the men want to know the extent of her abilities. As he speaks, a crate full of bananas land right on top of him, leaving the girl completely safe. She takes the opportunity to run, but slips on a banana and falls off the building. As she falls, she starts to think about how much things she didn't and couldn't do. Her favorite manga falls out of her jacket. As she reached for it, she realized she didn't want to die. Not like that. Right when she realized Ep1 wanted to live, the man jumped off the building, used his blood abilities, dashes towards her. With an amazing-looking save, as he called her dummy, saying he's not going to let her die. Come to find out, the man was happy he found the girl because she can give him a chance to die. The guy gets so excited he dashes off, using his blood's ability to leap from building to building, going straight into his hideout. From afar we see a group of men in suits watching as he heads off. They speak through earcoms and states, once they find out the girl ability, they'll take her. He arrives at his hideout and asks the girl to get naked, so he could embrace her naked body and get the full effect of her bad luck. She runs off as soon as he says get naked. That left him with a smile because he likes a good chase. So she runs as he chased her and she just wants to go home. As she runs her jacket gets caught up, and she loses her hat, which revealed her crazy long hair. The guy cracks a little joke, which sends the girl straight into tears. She can never get her haircut because whoever would try to cut it would die. RMC pulls out a bag, like he used to be a stylish, and begins to cut. We're truly surprised her. The unluck effect doesn't start until he lets go of her. She worried he's put piling up too much unluck, but he shrugs that off and says I'm in Undead. She asked was he wants a hairstylist. He answered a long time ago. He finishes and shows her new look through a mirror. She was little nervous since it was her first haircut. She smiled and looked happy that moment. Our main character was excited to see if he could die after holding on to her for 15 minutes, as she screamed. She didn't know a group of men in black sliced his head off and put it into a container. As they thanked the girl for keeping him distracted, they learned of her power in place. Cuffs on her, they spoke on how they wanted to use her power and how her power can only be used for murder. Their job was to police any unselected navigator like her. He even said he don't even need to take her in alive. He speaks on how the undead was going to use her to kill people. But the girl quickly corrected him that he was a better person than the men in suits, as the man in the suits threatens her and told her to watch her mouth. Lightning came down and hit the man holding the container. That helped the undead escape. Leader of the men told the rest to attack, claiming the zombie has no combat experience. Well, the MC laughs and removes a knife from his forehead, and we're on attack mode and clear all the men with ease. Supposedly our MC claims he keeps the knife in his forehead to block off his memories, because if he didn't, he would go crazy on the loose. The man in the suit takes the girl hostage. He put his sword at the girl's throat. He told the man to cut his own head off. He was surprised the leader wasn't going to fight, so he starts to cut off his own head and throws it towards him. She has an emotional moment because people get hurt because of her. She broke free from the man and was able to give the head a kiss on his cheek before the man in the suit caught him. Our main character smiles as he understood what just happened. He grew his body back instantly and gave the girl a chance to run. As he kept the man in the black suit distracted, our main character managed to ping down the leader. And at that moment, he looked above and realized that something was coming. Then a meteor crashed right on top of them, destroying the building in the area. The girl barely survives, but it's saddened for a moment, while the man comes out of the smoke, saying that he never got hit with a meteorite until now. He thanks her for the nice and lucky assist. She laughs and wasn't sure she would call it nice. They stood in front of each other, laughing and smiling, one fully clothed, the other completely naked. As her red hat falls from the sky and wind blows it towards the viewers, as we see the writing, "Good luck." Final scenes is the two finding out each other names. She introduced herself as Fuko Izumi. The man actually don't remember his name, but Fuko decided to give him a name, and his name is Andy.